looking.
All right, everybody, Power Stroke Jude here. I'm about to install in the middle of the night. I don't know if you saw it, but these sprinklers were just on right behind me. They just turned off. You can see everything's all wet. Way over there, you can see the water all over the sidewalk. So that's pretty funny. But I'm going to install a sinister. Look at my little gremlin over there. See him? I'm going to install a sinister diesel. There's the box. Coolant filtration system on the 6.0. It's not a lot of parts, it's not a lot of tools either. Right here, this 10 millimeter bolt's got to come out from the radiator support, because right there on this hole on this bracket right here, let me see if I can turn it around, sorry, that's where it's going to mount right there. It's going to mount through there. It's going to mount a plain old Wix filter on the bottom of it. That's going to be simple. These two valves come with it, and I put the hardware on. I put the two valves on, and I put the bracket onto the top here. So this is going to sit like this, and as you can see, I've got a coolant hose right here. This one, and it's going to come around, and it's going to go into the filter. Excuse me. It's going to go into the filter right there. This hose has a T on it, and I'm going to cut this heater hose in half somewhere around right around where I have the pinch off pliers, and then I'm going to tap into it, and tee it off. It comes with a couple of clamps. I'm going to use those. Then that's going to tighten on. This is going to get tightened or assembled right here. Then I'm going to connect this hose. It's going to go into this side right here. It's going to run along the fan shroud. It's also got a T on it, and I'm going to tee it into that degas hose right there. Not a big deal. It also comes with a couple of clamps. One's over here somewhere. It also comes with a couple of clamps. Not a big deal at all. At the same time, while I'm doing that, I'm going to show you a review I did on a couple of comparison on some 10 millimeter ratcheting wrenches. This is Old Faithful. Well, take it back. This is the first 10 millimeter ratcheting wrench I ever had. It's a gear wrench. It came with a set. I think it went 8 through 18 or something like that. And I love them. Used them a long time. Then along came this Matco set, and obviously it's a cool ratchet too. I really like it. I use it a lot. I've utilized these a lot. I don't know who it's rebranded from, but it's a good ratchet. Non-reversible, but flex head, and it works really, really well. Really utilizes, especially on the 6 liters, taking off the valve cover bolts down here on the side of the evap box. When I used it with a 12 millimeter, that set came 8, 10, 12, 13, and 14. I don't know why it was that set, or why it didn't go bigger until, a few months later on the truck, I saw that they had the bigger sizes. They broke it off into 2 sets, which is stupid. I would have just bought the whole set complete. Instead, I bought the small set, saw the second set, and said, screw that, I'm not going to buy it. I'll deal with other stuff that I have. But anyways, these have become my favorites, and I've used these a lot. And, but I've been talking to people about Capri tools. I bought some Capri tools, and I wanted to review them. And one of the things I bought was a 10 millimeter ratcheting wrench, because one of the sizes I use a lot for ratcheting wrenches is a 10. So I got a Capri 10, so I can compare it, not necessarily to my Matco, because that's a flex head, and that one's, I don't think you really can compare it, but to compare it to my gear wrench. And coming off isn't going to be a big deal, because you got plenty of room. I'll probably just take it off with a Matco wrench, but then when I go back together, I'm going to have little Power Stroke over there film me, and he'll be filming me as I put it back on, and you'll see the difference as just one bolt is not a big deal. I've used them all a lot, but this is just a quick video to show you, and I'll show you what I like and what I dislike about them, and if the Capri's worth it, because a lot of people have gear wrench sets that they've had for a long time, and they're happy with them. And I'll tell you, the gear wrench, stick with them. If you like, but you'll find out my opinion at the end if I say stick with the gear wrench or buy the Capri, or step up to something bigger if you want to go, like with the tow truck brand. but I'm talking non-tow truck brands right now. So let me get at this for a second. I'll get back at you in a minute. Next time you see me, Little Power Stroke's gonna have the camera and he will be filming me. Catch you in a minute. All right, guys, here we go again. Here's the look I was telling you about. If you can look down there, right here, you can see the little stud with the 10mm on there. I got the filter on here. I'm going to show you how the wrenches work. Now, obviously, the Mako has some swing on there. That thing works like a champ. Works great. You know, I can get in there because of the flex. I can get around because of the flex. I can easily get around the line for the AC. So I'm just going to start it with that one. Now the one I've used for years is this gear wrench, 10mm. Same thing. I'm going to put it in there. Now it doesn't have as much. You see though. Now this is in the way, but I can get by it a little bit, and you can see how nice the fine tooth that is. I don't know if you can see it. That's tight and nice and sweet. You know, this is 20 years old, man. I got I got this thing in the way back in the early 2000s. I got the set at Sears. Now this one is a brand new tool by Capri. I've used it a little bit, and I'm going to show you how that one works now. Let me see. I can get it on there. Here we go. Now the Capri works real similar to the gear wrench. You can hear the tooth. It's nice. It's a newer wrench. It feels nice, but make sure you keep your filter assembly straight. There we go. And yeah, it works. It works good. It's not a bad wrench. I hope you guys can see that. My hands are probably in the way, but it's all right. You know, the gist of it is watching that the wrenches, see how they work. Now, I've used the Mako wrench since I got it. Before that, you know, for the 5 years before that, 10 years before that, I used, excuse me, too many magnets around here. I used this wrench a lot. Here, put it on me, Matthew. Can you see me and the tools? Now, I use this one a lot, pretty much since I got it, you know, and it always works. You know, sometimes if I need a shorter wrench, I would go to the gear wrench. But before I ever got this one, I used this one a ton, and I loved it. You know, it never let me down. And like I said, I've had this set since the early 2000s. I've never had to replace one because they've never broke. And I use these hard. Put a lot of torque onto these. I just got the Capri, and I'm not going to knock it because it seems like a pretty decent wrench and it works all right. It's the closest I could get to compare these because Capri doesn't make a double box end. And I wasn't going to just go buy another set, you know, just to compare them. But it's a ratcheting 10, non-flex head, 0 degree. And it works well. Yeah, so like I was saying, man, if you own a set of gear wrench and there's nothing wrong with them, there's no reason. I mean, unless you really want to go out and get a high quality tow truck brand, I don't think there's a reason to upgrade to Capri. I don't know if Tecton or someone else makes them. The gear wrench worked fine. I stand behind them. I know people say they're junk, man, but I disagree. I've used them a lot, and I use them hard, man. I'm not gonna lie. The Capri would probably stand up. It would probably hold up. I mean, I like it, but I'm not saying it's not a good wrench. What I'm saying is that there's not a significant difference between these two wrenches. These two wrenches are very similar, unless you just want a shinier wrench, you know, so it's brand new, nice, neat, and shiny, compared to this one that's all beat up and scratched up because it's been used. Either one of these wrenches will do what it's meant to do, and you'll be happy with it. I can promise you that. And then, like I said, if you want to step up to something like this Mako, I don't know who rebrands it, but this is a really, really good wrench, man. I love this one. I don't have too many tools with this isn't really a soft grip, I don't think, but more of like a non-slip grip. But I don't use too many tools with grip, but I like this one, and I'd stand behind it. But I would definitely say, if you have the gear wrench, keep it. You'll be happy with it. Don't ever let someone tell you it's not going to stand up. If you like the Capri, keep it. Don't ever let someone tell you it's not going to stand up. These two, to me, other than this one just being newer, are basically the same wrench. I like them both. They both do a good job, and I think you guys would be happy with any of them. All right, like, comment, share, subscribe. Power Stroke Jude. I'm going to get back at this repair. See you in a minute. All right, guys. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start by putting these fittings onto the coolant lines. Does it fit out the right one? Or the small one? This one. All right, guys. Power Stroke Jude. Finishing this up. Here's what it looks like when it's all done. You got your, oh, that light died. You have your mount, your bracket. You know, this is where the coolant goes in and out of for the filter. It routes around through here, goes around the oil filter neck, and you can see where I teed it off into that heater hose. I did use pinch pliers and I kept most of the water out or the coolant out, but some did spill, so just be careful. Make sure you try to not leak coolant when you clip it there. But that looks real good. If you come around to the other side, check that out. Power Stroke. Yeah. It comes out of that one. Comes down through here. There's a Christmas tree tab you put in there to keep that kind of secure for that hose, and then it comes off and it tees in right here. And you can see how I teed into that line. That's exactly what you want to see. You know, it looks good. This truck is ready to go. I just gotta find that. I bought a brand new oil coolant cap for that, the gas bottle cap, but it's somewhere in my garage. I gotta find it before I go to bed, and then I gotta get the oil filter dipstick. It's up here somewhere. I gotta get it out. But check it out. Power Stroke V8 Turbo Diesel. So anyways, that's how you put those together. It's not a big deal. It took me about 25-30 minutes. You know, you don't want to over torque and break anything here. You know, you just want to go right up around to where the Loctite is. You don't got to put anything on it, any Teflon tape or anything like that, because it's already got it. It's got the Loctite on there. So that's not a big deal. You want to make sure these are on open. When they're long, they're open. When they're turned, they're closed. If you ever change the filter, you want to turn them to closed, so that way the coolant doesn't come out. But this is how you want it when it's running. You want them both open. Both of these, that would be closed. That's open. Simple repair. You asked for it, you got it. Joey Preciado. Hope you liked it. This video is going to be cut up here and there. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to come up. I know I did a little review on some tools somewhere in the middle. I don't know if I'm going to cut that out and try to make it its own video, or just leave it in there. And if people see it, people see it. But that's my take on the those little ratcheting wrenches. So anyways, please follow me on Instagram. Like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell. And until I see you all next time, Power Stroke. All right, guys, Power Stroke Jude here. I don't know if you can see this. Let me try to increase it. See that on the bottom of the truck? It's a little bit of a coolant leak. I was driving myself crazy. What the heck did I do? What did I miss? You know, you hate, especially when the customer's going to pick up the truck today. And unfortunately for me, it was something small. Just to show you, you know, sometimes people miss stuff. Man, I was putting this on last night in the dark, the coolant filtration system, and I noticed right now that this valve wasn't threaded in properly, or it was can tight actually, so coolant was leaking out through there. So I tightened it up, and I'm just gonna real quick like disconnect this valve so I can take the tension out of that. Because right now it's kind of twisted because I just tightened that up and it was just spinning while that's locked in place. But just watch what you do. Make sure you do everything, especially if you're working in the dark, working late at night, or if you're tired. You know, double check everything. I'm just glad that I checked that before I give it back to the customer, because he probably would have noticed it as soon as he got home, because it is cold right now, and he probably would have been driving with his heater on. So anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell. Power Stroke Jude, out.